Welcome back to the channel, guys. So this is actually my second take at recording this video because in my first one, I realized I may have been too excited about this champion. Also, doing a little bit more research, I realized that this champion was also a guaranteed champion about 6 to 7 months ago. That is a Kimpton. So I believe 6 months ago, a Kimpton was guaranteed for 40 void shards. I forget at this point, but the video I'd seen, the comments were saying 40 voids, so I'm assuming that's what it's for. Now this time, it's for 30 voids. So in my first video, I'm excited for this champion because I don't have him. I think a Kimpton's an awesome champion. I don't have any void shards, and I was considering paying for shards. But 30 void shards, let's think about this, okay? 30 void shards, which the post from Plarium is right here. If you guys want to see, this is a 10x going on. If you're just curious about the 10x and the guaranteed event going on, let me actually open this thing up real quick. But if you're just interested in the 10x and the guaranteed, then that's the information. I will be pulling some shards tomorrow on stream at the 14 to 16 UTC time in game live arena. Go here. This 14 to 16 window is when I'll be pulling shards on stream. So it's gonna be about 10 a.m. somewhere around there. If you're interested, join my Discord channel, shoot me a DM, and I can pull your shards as well. We have a very solid 10x going on alongside the Kimpton guaranteed. But as far as 30 void shards for Kimpton, is it worth it? That's a QR code to, I guess a sponsorship I did before. But is it worth it? That, I don't really know. 30 void shards is a lot. And especially if you compare it to the guaranteed void legendaries, which we've had some void legendaries who are worse than a Kimpton for sure. A Kimpton's definitely a top tier epic champion, but it's like a third of what a guaranteed void legendary would be. So is it worth it to spend, say, $60 to $90 if you're 0 void shards currently for an epic champion? Probably not for majority of players. For me, I'm slightly considering it because I do believe a Kimpton could open up a lot of very cool things for my account. So a Kimpton is a champion who's very solid at doing solo and duo content. Specifically, I want to try duoing Spider Stage 10 hard. I've heard it's possible. I've heard players saying they can do it, and I'd be interested to see if this cat can actually do it. However, I don't know if I want to pay $60 to $90 for that. Now, when going for her, him, it, I don't know, you also have a chance at Iron Gut. Iron Gut is an incredible Hydra champion. If you were struggling with Hydra before, you're not struggling with Hydra anymore. Umbral Enchantress is the other void. Umbral is also a very solid champion. Provoke AoE on a 2-turn duration, which is incredible. One of the only 2 champions that I know of who has that. Iron Gut also is just an amazing champion. Guys, like I said, if you pull him, Hydra becomes easy. But before we get into that too much, I want to talk about a Kimpton a little bit more. So the A2 ability on a Kimpton attacks all enemies 3 times. Each hit has a 60% chance of increasing the duration of any hex debuff on enemies by 1 turn. If enemies are not under hex, each hit has a 60% chance of placing a hex for 2 turns. That books up to a 75% chance. He's placing hex on everybody, which is amazing because the passive ability has an 80% chance of inflicting damage from 1 poison debuff to enemies under hex debuff whenever their allies receive damage from poison. So a Kimpton is placing hex on everybody or extending the duration of hex is dealing damage from one enemy's poison to the other enemies and also placing poisons or potentially placing poisons on everybody under hex. So attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 40% chance of placing a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns. If the target is under a hex debuff, each hit has a 40% chance, books up to a 50% chance, of applying debuff spread effect, taking 1 random debuff from the target and placing it on all enemies. So this is really cool. I actually have a video talking about a Kimpton on Spider Stage 10 hard, which is also very neat, which I'll leave linked at the end of this video if you guys want to check that out. But a Kimpton has a very unique kit, very solid, especially for speedrunning, but we have a lot of champions who do that. So the players who are going to be interested in pulling for a Kimpton are probably going to be not necessarily in-game because we have Newt, we have Mithrala, we have a lot of champions to speed farm Spider. Possibly to duo Stage 10 Spider, if I can make that work, that could be worth it. But we have Artak and Mithrala who can already duo Stage 9 of Spider hard. But the people who would want a Kimpton are going to be players who want help clearing waves, players possibly who need a good poisoner for Clan Boss. But we have Newt now, like I said. So he's going to do tons of damage in Clan Boss. We have a lot of really solid options. So is a Kimpton worth 30 void shards? In my first video, I was thinking yes. But at this point, I'm thinking that for the players who would really get the benefit, are you going to have 30 void shards? 30 void shards to somebody who's farming Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, who's not 100% free to play, you know, getting void shards from different areas, high tier 6 CVC, so picking up some void shards from there, buying it from the bazaar, buying it from the clan shop when they're there. yeah, 30 Void Shards is not as big of a deal. But somebody who's new, going to get massive value from a Kimpton, is it worth it? I don't know, but I am going to buy 1 Void Shard. But either way, that's up for you to decide. I'm not going to tell you the right answer. I do want to go over these champions, okay? Iron Gut, amazing champion, makes Hydra easy. Harima, Martyr, Molly, incredible champions. Harima is a dream come true for the arena. I would love to pull for her. However, my bank account says you're not pulling for her. 13 Ancients, 1 Void, and 2 Sacreds. I'm not pulling for Harima. I would love to pull for her. I'm not close enough to Mercy. Maybe I pull my Ancients and my Sacred, but I'm not really, truly going to go for her. It's a 10x event, guys. Let's be honest here. We're not going to get any of these champions because 10x never works, right? But Martyr's getting better. She's getting more popularity, especially recently with Fire Knight Stage 10 hard. She's doing great. She works fantastic. The increased defense plus the counterattack, awesome champion. Molly, very solid for Hydra Provoke. Used to be really good in the arena. Not as popular now, but either way, any of those legendaries I'd be happy with. Now, the next 3, the epics, Vogoth, Taragi, and Skaramis. To be honest, if you need any of these 3 champions, you're probably better off pulling during a 2x event. Me personally, I don't think any of those 3 champions are absolute game changers. Though VN Saber, who I recently pulled 1,000 Ancient Shards for, well, last year, and then recently, like a week ago, pulled 100 Sacred Shards, still doesn't have Vogoth. So he may say that Vogoth is a game changer, and he may want Vogoth, but let's be honest, Vogoth in some specific areas of the game can be very helpful, but in a lot of those areas, we have different answers. I'm thinking Bommel specifically, but if you have Nishak and you have some ally attack champions, Bommel is very, very easy. But Vogoth, decent champion, specific areas, depending on where you're at in the game. I don't want to say one way or the other, but he's probably not going to be a game changer for you. He is cool for Tag Team Arena and some areas like that. Put him in the back, and he makes your team very tanky. So he does have use, don't get me wrong, but I'm thinking if you're going to pull for him, you're probably better saving for a 10x event. Taragi the Frog, or sorry, not 10x, a 2x event. Have a better chance of getting more epics for your account. Taragi the Frog, also solid champion. Skaramis is also a solid champion. Honestly, you're going to probably get these champions if you're going for Harima, Martyr, or Molly. If you need one of these 3 and you can, use one of these 3 at the bottom, be a good time to pull possibly. 10x events usually aren't that good to begin with, but we do have some very solid champions for the 10x for the Voids, like going alongside a Kimpton. So if you pulled 30 and you got Iron Gut, you're going to be doing very, very well on Hydra. But guys, I wanted to reshoot that video. I didn't think it was worth putting out the first one where I was super excited about a Kimpton, and to be honest, I'm not really sure how I feel now. It's cool. It is a cool guaranteed epic. It's not a bad one. It's one of the better Void epics that we have, to be honest, and we've been getting a lot of really good Void epics, but 30 Void Shards, it's really up to you and your account to decide if it's worth going for. I'm considering it. Like I said, tomorrow on stream, if I have plenty of people messaging me to pull their shards tomorrow on stream, I may have to just pull the trigger, go ahead, jump in, and pick up enough Voids to get a Kimpton, because it's really just going to be trying out some new stuff. I'm not really going to use a Kimpton on my account, I don't think. It's mostly just going to be testing some different things. Duo content specifically for Spider 10 hard. I think a Kimpton plus Newt could have some pretty cool synergies. But to be honest, I don't know. I'm a little indecisive on this one. You guys can let me know what you think about it down below. Also, I'm thinking, if I got 30 Voids, I may want to save for the next guaranteed Void champion. I mean, we've had some pretty solid ones. We've also had some pretty not so solid ones. But Turvold and Rio specifically are 2 very solid Void champions. Turvold even gaining more popularity recently in Live Arena and becoming one of my favorite champions, actually, because he absolutely smacks. But guys, either way, best of luck if you do go for this event. Let me know what you guys think down below. I would love to hear it. And I'll catch you all in the next video.